One day, Thomas was at the junction when Gordon shuffled in with some trucks. "Phew," remarked Thomas. "What a funny smell."
Is this really how we're going to start off today's conversation, Thomas? You just can't help it, huh? Didn't we learn anything the last time we jabbed Gordon, hearkening to episode 1 of all things? Since Gordon had ran off the rails into a pond, Thomas enjoyed bothering Gordon about it every time they crossed lines. I like Gordon's face for this scene, though. It looks like he's thinking, I hope he doesn't notice, I hope he doesn't notice. Even though I'm sure he's been cleaned up, the idea of him trying to conceal a bad odor is comical.
Annie and Clarabelle could hardly believe their ears. "He's dreadfully rude. I feel quite ashamed. I feel quite ashamed. He's dreadfully rude." And to Thomas they said, "You mustn't be rude. You make us ashamed." But Thomas didn't care a bit.
Very rude indeed. Thomas is flat out bad-mannered, and it's not in good taste either. I'll tell you what, though, that friggin' right eye of his is worse off than ever. Holy mackerel, this is just awful. How hard is it to align a character's eyeball? This scene in particular looks like Thomas has a lazy eye. One's looking straight while the other one looks down. This looks worse than the pilot episode. Which is interesting that I mention that because the shot where Thomas goes off to the mine is the actual original pilot footage. You can tell because his front wheel well has no red outline on it.
Long ago, miners digging for lead had made tunnels under the ground. Their roofs are strong enough to hold up trucks, but not the weight of engines. A large notice warns them not to enter the area. "Danger! Engines must not pass this board."
But with Thomas feeling rather clever in his horribleness as of late, he thought he would do something daring today. Normally, Thomas has tried other times to pass the warning board, but he never got as far as he desired. This time, however, he was determined to get what he wanted. He did this by bumping the trucks further out, which also knocked his driver out of his cab. With that, Thomas quickly moved forward. To only his shock, though, he ended up falling into a hole that was clearly stated by the warning board. Nice, Short Stack. This is exactly the kind of thing you needed today because of your terrible behavior.
"Oh dear," he said, "I am a silly engine. And a very naughty one, too. Please get me out. I won't be naughty again. Let me see. I wonder if Gordon could pull you out."
Way to make things even more justified, Top Hat. With Gordon now aware of Thomas's mishap, he couldn't help but rush over to get even with Thomas. And as much as I get on Gordon's case for being so pompous at times, this is a moment where it's justifiable. When he arrived on scene, Gordon hitched a strong cable to Thomas's back end to haul him out. Once Thomas was back on track, Thomas apologized to Gordon for his comments. Gordon didn't mind, though, because he felt Thomas's situation was rather humorous.
"Shall we form an alliance? You help me, and I'll help you." "Right you are," agreed Thomas. "Good, that's settled," rumbled Gordon.
Well, isn't that daggone pleasant? We first start off with Thomas and Gordon, and we pretty much end with them too. Yes, we still have one more episode, but it mostly encapsulates everyone, so I don't really count that as a singular character-driven story. Although the story structure has been copied since Dirty Objects, with someone saying one thing and that same thing happens to them, this was the best of the three for a couple of reasons. One being that, again, it brought both Gordon and Thomas a little closer in their friendship. Thomas still loves jabbing. Oh, how obvious that is. But at least he got what was coming to him, with Gordon enjoying every minute of that. It also did not use any references to other mistakes like everyone so loves to use as blackmail. Hopefully Thomas will be less rude now. His coaches Annie and Clarabelle weren't proud of his actions either. I would like to know how, though, Top Hat teleported to the mine. Thomas gets into trouble and bam, he's there. I'm sure if he'd known Top Hat was there, he may have not done it. Also, the mechanics behind Thomas's actions are still unclear. Did Thomas himself bump his driver out of the cab, or was his driver that clumsy that he jerked himself out? I don't see the latter being possible, but that means Thomas himself can move. Can that really happen? Gordon did it in the last entry, so I guess. Still vague. The music is still the same as usual, with Gordon's, Annie and Clarabelle's theme, and the busy station motif. Set pieces were different here, though. This time we got the side view of Knapford Station, and of which was also the unaired pilot footage, the one and only reel of film that was used. Also, the mine setup was unique too. Probably the only time we will see it though, because not only does it look abandoned, but I don't think this particular setting ever appears again. It's a better showing than the last few ones. Next episode is Thomas's Christmas party. Thanks for watching.